Hello and welcome to the Circuit de Catalunya in Barcelona for the penultimate race of this final round of the 2022 Spanish Formula 4 Championship. My name is Lee O'Gorman, and we have a cool, well, bright and clear day at this circuit, just about 20 or so miles outside of Barcelona in the town of Montmello. Poleman there, Nicholas Solov. It's his 14th pole position of the season. The Campos Racing driver. Champion by quite a long way, 96 points ahead of the man who is second in the standings and also second on the grid, Hugh Barter, of the Campos Racing entry. The second of a very, very big field today. 34 entries for this weekend, and this is the third of them. This is Timotheus Kaczarczyk, third in the championship. The MP Motorsport racer, part of the Richard Mille Academy, won the shootout last year. A shootout that's already been decided for 2023. I'll talk about more about that shortly. Fourth on the grid is Christian Ho, not fourth in the standings. So that's where that relationship ends, but a very, very good qualifying for him this weekend. He'll be hoping for some big results. Fifth on the grid, we have Kirill Smal, who is fourth in the standings. Came home second yesterday after initially running third behind Kaczarczyk, but took second place from the pole after a long safety car period. Sixth on the grid, we got Noah Stromstedt for Campos Racing. He is a guest driver this weekend, as he was last time out, so he's ineligible for points. So bear that in mind. George Kelstrup, seventh on the grid. They'll be hoping to end the season on a positive note. It's maybe not been quite as positive as it has been. He was expecting a little bit more from 2022. We shall see what 2023 brings him. And Valerio Rinicella starts eighth. Tisanabol Intrapuvasak, again another driver hoping to end the season on a high. Started very, very well with a win in Portimao and another podium, but second half of the season really has been a bit of a struggle. I will get the full grid on the screen for you now. What I can tell you is that we have several driver changes, well, several driver additions really this weekend. And DriveX have added Victoria Blanchina. She'll be racing alongside Delpino Geljulian and Maxim Arkachelski. She's had a season in Italian Formula 4 so far this season. Monlau Motorsports are also running, they're running a third car for Jonas Reed. He's generally been running in ADAC F4 so far this season. Sandslock Racing are running Carl Bennett, a US Thai driver. He was running in US F4 this season, while Cram Pinnacle Motorsport are running two drivers, Gianmarco Pradel and Francisco Soldavini, but they're not running Ricardo Escotto, and JHR Developments are running Daniel Ginchard. Noah Lyle returns. Quickly go through the grid because it is a very, very, very large grid, as you can probably tell. Daniel Mavlitov is starting from last position, 34th on the grid. No real times in qualifying for him. And then on just ahead of him is Salvadini. Carl Bennett starts from 31st, while Theo Jensen for Centerlock Racing, Bennett is 32nd, Jensen starts 31st. Then you have Noah Lyle for JHR Motorsport, and alongside him is Alvaro Garcia on the 15th row of the grid. Then you have Victoria Blanchina starting 28th, with Vladislav Ryabov just above her. Ricardo Grazia be getting away 26th on the grid with Maxim Arkachelski 25th, while Cram Motorsports Pradel starts just ahead of him. In the Monlau Motorsport, Jaff Mackhills was involved in an incident yesterday at the beginning of the race. He starts 23rd, just behind Gail Julian, 22nd, and Daniel Ginchard. Solid debut weekend so far. He gets away from 21st. Manuel Espirito Santo, disappointing qualifying, gets away 20th on the grid. Then Max Meyer from Formula Campinos alongside. Then we've got Marcus Flack and Daniel Gales on row 9. T. O'Neill for Centerlock Racing just behind Bruno Del Pino on row 8. Jonas Reed and Jessica Esquada, the returning Jessica Esquada, on row 7. Then Miran Pingasov and Sebastian Gravlund on row 6. Gravlund eventually scored a point yesterday. Good for him. Robert De Haan starts 10th. He's the only non-MP and non-Campos racing machine in the top 10. Very good effort, while, as we saw, Susanna Polin-Kubzak starts from 9th. Valeria Rinacella gets away from 8th on the grid, just behind George Kelstrup, while Noah Stromsted has taken a 6th place start for the guest driver. 5th on the grid will be Kirill Small in the MP Motorsport runner. Christian Ho starts 4th, while Timotheus Kacharczyk starts 3rd in the MP Motorsport, the black number 7 machine. And as we come onto the start-finish straight, well, the front of the field does. It's a long field. It's going to take a while for this grid to form up. At the front of the order, on the left-hand side of your screen, in the white machine, with the black number box, the number 68, Hugh Barter for Campos Racing. He secured 2nd with a 1 minute 46.843. And on pole position, when it eventually does come up, for Campos Racing in the blue, the dark blue colours, the champion, Nikola Solov, with a 1 minute 46.833. Solov won yesterday, got away from pole position. This is his 14th pole of the season. Led the distance, a lot of safety car running in that race. Hopefully today will be a much cleaner event. As mentioned, big crash on the opening lap meant a safety car period of nearly 12 minutes. This race, 18 minutes plus 1 lap. Fewer points on offer, of course. And hopefully we'll be running clean, but hard all the way through. And the lights, and we had a jump starter there in the middle of the grid. That's going to be a penalty. It's one of the GRS runners, I believe. And the field gets away well. Solov leads, but only just. Hugh Barter is on the inside. Kacharczyk on the outside of turn 1. Barter's going to not quite have enough of a run to get through Solov into turn 1. Solov leads. Barter's 2nd. Kacharczyk just behind. That is Christian Ho still in 4th place, while Smile has held 5th. Stromsted holding on to 6th. Inter Puvacak has had a good start from 9th up to 7th position. It was a daring run from Hugh Barter coming into turn 1. But the angle was probably too tight. And the Australian gave way to Solov. Smile has taken Ho for 4th position. Kelstrup dropped down behind Inter Puvacak, but has now retaken Inter Puvacak for 7th and 8th positions. To come on to the back straight. I've not had a message from race control yet, but I'm pretty certain we did see a jump start. Quite significant jump start as well from one of the GRS cars. The field gets through clean start this time round compared to yesterday. 34 car field, it's difficult to get a clean start, but it's such a big field in Formula 4. The drivers have been very mature today as they come across the line to begin their 2nd lap. Solov leads, then Barter, then Kacharczyk. Small 4th, Christian Ho defending against Stromsted, and we have 2 of the MP runners going hard into turn 1. That is Inter Puvacak and Gravlund. Inter Puvacak defending for all his might against Gravlund. Gravlund hoping for some late season points. He hasn't had many this year, he got one yesterday. Begin to settle down somewhat, the field making it around Sayed corner. Solov leads by half a second. Right now, you got Ho in 5th place, and Stromstad and Kelstrup, and in for Kubisak and Gravlund. And this battle for 5th all the way down to 9th positions. Runchella is also there in 10th place. Robert Dehaan is dropped outside of the top 10. He is 11th. This is Christian Ho just heading Stromstad, 5th and 6th positions. Ho lost the position yesterday on the pretty much in the penultimate corner of the race. He was fighting hard to keep Hugh Barker at bay, and in the end was unable to do so. Barker finding a way through actually in the chicane to run to the checkered flag. The Central Operation entries fighting hard in the chicane. We see a battle for position in the background. This is Gravlund and Runchella, and we see that is Gravlund just ahead. Runchella not quite making the way through, but it's opened the door for Robert Dehaan, and T. O'Neill is there as well in 12th position, looking to find an opportunity to take a position. Oh, and someone's hit the barrier, and that is Lyle, no. That is going to be a safety car. Definitely further down the order. Oy. Oh, and that's a big hit. That is a big hit, not just the rear wing, but also potentially the gearbox. And that is going to be a safety car. The safety car is called. Going to be interesting to see a little bit more of that incident. Whether it go off himself, or was that actually pushed off into the barrier? It's Alvaro Garcia in the Formula Campos car. He was battling right down the end of the order. But you know, drivers fight hard even for the minor positions in motorsport. That's what makes it so special, so makes it so incredibly tense to watch. Sometimes close racing ends up in a close mating with the barrier. Not been the easiest season for Alvaro Garcia. Not scored any points so far this season. His best finish of 11th in the third race it was Jerez earlier on this year. Spent a lot of the season towards the lower ends of the top 20. You see, Barter really did look down the inside, but then the angle really for turn one would have been far too tight to make a move on Solov. Most likely, had he kept his nose in there, he'd probably gone right into the right rear of the race leader, the champion. The charge couldn't have minded, because that would probably put him into the lead. Barter had a difficult start yesterday, actually missed turn one and had to take the runoff area. There is a route in the runoff area in turn one. You actually have to take a specified route to make it through the exit of turn two. In theory, it's slower, so that you can't just cut across the runoff area and gain an advantage, which is what had happened for several seasons previously at Barcelona. But it did drop him down effectively from third place down to sixth. Although he did climb his way back up to the top four by the end. Best of an issue today, still running in second place behind Nicholas Solov, who also has the fastest lap. Remember, 15 points for a win in this race and one for the fastest lap. matters little really to Solov. He's racing for pride and for fun at this point. Champion quite a while ago. 356 points to Barter's 260. Solov has taken 11 wins so far this season to Barter's 6. And an incredible statistic. Of the 17 races that have been held in Spanish Formula 4 so far this season, 19 races. Campos has won 17 of them, while MP Motorsport have won the other 2. That being, of course, Peter Bubazak and Portimao. And last time out, Noah Stromstead did win a race, but because he's actually a guest driver, it was not eligible to claim the points for that. Barter, who tell a lie. I'm really going to that Stromstead was in pole position. The other winner was Kucharczyk earlier on the season. I'm an idiot. And that was in Jerez. That's good to be wrong sometimes. Meanwhile, leading this race is the safety car. He was out for quite a long time yesterday. As I mentioned, it was quite a significant crash on the opening lap of the race. 2 drivers hard into the wall on the exit of turn 1, beginning of turn 2. One of the Jeff Mackhills wandered around part of the opening lap with a very, very deranged front left wheel. There was a bit of damage with drivers in the pack as well, so it was effectively an incident that took out 4 drivers. And so that is the incident between Noah Lyle and Alvaro Garcia. Noah Lyle has actually come into the pits in the time since the JHR development driver. Only 2 cars running this weekend. The other being Daniel Guinchard, who's currently running in 20th place. But did not see, we only really saw Garcia going off the circuit. We did not see the involvement of the actual incidents whatsoever. But with both drivers out of the race, it only really makes sense that it'll be investigated after the race. Given where Garcia went off, and given the trajectory of that corner and the incidents that normally happen in that corner, it is a bit of a kink, a left-hand kink before it moves on to a right-hander. I can only imagine they try to go side by side, or at least partially side by side, from 1 into 2, and whoever was on the outside got pitched into the barrier. But that is supposition. What is absolute fact is the safety car is in this lap. 7 minutes plus 1 lap remaining. It's Solov, it's Barter, it's Kucharczyk, it's Small, it's Ho, it's Stromstead, it's Kelstrup, it's Bubazak, it's Graveland, Rinicella. That's your top 10. The safety car is gone. Solov has control of the lead, and he now comes through the final corner. Gets a very good start, but Barter is there as well. And the snake coming down the start-finish straight as they all individually and as a group try to break the draft. But it's not quite worked for Barter, who's under pressure from Kucharczyk. Kucharczyk was under his rear wing, locks up going into turn 1 as he moves to the outside line. Barter maintaining second position, but he's offline coming into 2 and then into 3. And Small is there as well to take advantage. And a spinner, we have a spinner. That is Carl Bennett in his first race weekend in Spanish Formula 4. As Small is challenging Kucharczyk as they come around set corner. Barter, meanwhile, has pulled away somewhat from his previous challenge. Oh, and Small tried to go down the inside and immediately switched back to the outside. But now Small running to the inside, and you don't really overtake there, but Small is saying, actually, I'm going to try it anyway, and it doesn't quite come off. What that does is put Small offline. It gives an opportunity to Christian Ho to try and get a run on Small as they come down to start the back straight. but he's on the outside line. That's not really going to work. But Ho says, I'm going to try it anyway. Around the outside, goes clean off the circuit and into the gravel. That gives a position to Stromstead. Kjellstrup is going to go through as well into what is now 6th position. And what was a clever, and we have another off. It's the number 20. That is Victoria Blokina for the Drivex team. Broken front wing. Give us a thumbs up. Hopefully we'll see in a moment what happened there. And we got another damaged car towards the rear of the field. Didn't quite see who that was, but I have a feeling it may be one of the Cram. And I wanted to cram one of the Drivex entries. I'm not really sure. Several new entries this weekend, of course, as I said. And we have T. O'Neill battling Sebastian Gravlund for 11th position in the pack. In that restart, Robert De Haan has got into the top 10. He's currently 9th, and Rinachala is 10th. T. O'Neill is 11th. Espirito Santos has taken 12th as Gravlund has dropped down the order. That is actually Jonas Reed from Monlau Motorsport that had the damaged front wing. Well, Solov continues to lead. Oh, we got a safety car. And again, that must be for the stranded Blokina. As Max Markinchelski also in the pits. He stopped as well with some damage. Difficult season for Max Markinchelski. He looked, after a very, very solid 2021, as if he would really push forward in 2022. But really not quite worked out for him this year as he would have appreciated or really would have liked. Yeah, and Blokina is pretty much stranded in the gravel trap. Race control will wait until the field is controlled behind the safety car before allowing her to get out of her stricken machine. Max Markinchelski, I want to mention, it's been a difficult year so far this season. Best finish of 10th in a short race at Portimao, but with a much larger field, it's been more difficult for him to break into the top 10. By the way, I should tell you at this point, the best lap of the race so far is a 1:47.8 for Nicholas Solov. It's 4/10 faster than the best by Hugh Barter. So as it stands at the moment, Solov would pick up that bonus point for fastest lap. As that is the very, very broken car of Alvaro Garcia on the back of a flatbed. And there's going to be a lot of mechanics very annoyed to be fixing some broken race cars. This is one of the intricate, odd things with races right at the end of the season. Is occasionally you do get several incidents as positions are decided in the championship, and drivers either really go for it because they want to solidify that position they're in, or they really, really go for it because their position they're in is decided. They have nothing in the championship necessarily left to kind of fight for, so they just kind of drive hard for position and hope for the best. So safety car is out. It's a minute and a half plus 1 lap remaining. Hopefully this will be turned over quickly and we can at least get 1 racing lap. So this is the restart. You see Hugh Barter on the inside, Kucharczyk going down the inside too, runs out of room, decides to switch to the outside line, but locks his front wheel, and that pretty much almost kills his movement. If it wasn't for the fact that Barter himself was slightly offline. That is Bennett going off track. Didn't quite see who that was, who went off track with him, and Blokina in a separate incident. So this is Max Markinchelski with his broken front wing. Lights on the safety car are still on. And Blokina, yeah, this is going to finish on the safety car, I'm afraid. Blokina's car is not being moved quickly enough. It's a shame. So we're not really going to get a shootout in this race. And if things stay as they are, and bear in mind where they are on circuit, and unless they absolutely ground to a halt, and considering they're very much coming into the final few corners of this lap, I do kind of wonder, and we have seen this before, not necessarily just in Spanish Formula 4, but be very, very, very careful. It's Noah Stromstead really putting his foot down, keeping his tyres warm, and quite close to throwing it off the circuit. I've seen it, yeah, this race will finish under safety car conditions. I've seen it on several occasions where the safety car might drive a little bit slower in order to give the marshals a little bit of a extra breathing room to get rid of cars, but not in this case. There's simply not enough time left in this lap, in this race, which now will finish under safety car conditions, and Nicholas Solov will win for the 12th time this season. Hugh Barter will come home second, and Timothy Kucharczyk will take another podium ahead of Kirill Small. So the drivers who were first, second, third, fourth in the championship will be finishing first, second, third, fourth in this race. George Kelstrup, who's fifth in the standings, will take sixth position, although he'll claim fifth place points because the driver who finishes fifth is Noah Stromstead, and he doesn't actually claim any points this weekend because he is a guest driver. And breathe. Christian Ho, who ran very well in fifth place for much of this race, made a little bit of an error challenging Kirill Small for fourth. That dropped him off the circuit slightly and allowed Stromstead and Kelstrup to go through. Intra Puvazak will take 8 points for finishing 8th. He ran 7th earlier on, but then lost out to Stromstead, while Robert De Haan comes home 9th, will take the final point of this race. Apologies. Valerio Nocella rounds out the top 10. 11th, you got T. O'Neill, then Sebastian Gravlund, who retook 12th place. It looks like Espirito Santo had an incident on that last lap before the yellow. He was running 12th, has dropped down to 16th, and if that's promoted Mira Pinkasov up to 13th, Gail Julian 14th, Danny Nicales 15th, then Santo, then 17th is Bruno Gapino. Then Gianmarco Prado finishes 18th ahead of Daniel Ginchard and Vladislav Ryabov. Jessica Esquada is 21st, Theo Jensen 22nd, Marcus Flack 23rd, Jeff Mackles 24th, Ricardo Grazia 25th, Max Meyer 26th, Daniel Mavlitov will be 27th, Francisco Soldavini will be 28th ahead of Jonas Reed, and Maksimar Kichelski pitted for a front wing, and he is rejoined, but he is rejoined 30th and last. So the drivers, the safety car will pull in, or should pull in, and then the drivers will effectively run to the checkered flag. Oh, so that's what's supposed to happen. See the drivers punch up. They accelerate to a nominal speed, exiting the final corner. Solov weaves slightly, celebrates, arm in the air. Fantastic job, and another race win for Nicholas Solov. And 16 points, 16 more points for the Bulgarian. Put him on 372. And puts him exactly 100 points ahead of Barter. Kucharczyk up to 219, and Small 155. Kelstrup finished 6th, as I mentioned, takes 5th place points. He finally breaks the 100 marker, goes up to 101. And Christian Ho goes up to 38 points. His third consecutive points finish. It's the first time he's managed that this season. Congratulations to him. Pruvazak will take 2, bringing him up to 62 points. Well, Ridicella, Zanfari and Jenik stay on 94, 70 and 64 respectively. That brings Pruvazak up to P9 in the standings, while Gail Julian and Robert Hahn are level 10th. Manuel Espirito Santo 12th in the championship. So, we didn't really get a huge amount of running in this race. 2 incidents, unfortunately, brought out safety cars, the second of which kind of nullified this race somewhat. But a very deserved win. So an incident between Carl Bennett and Saul Navini. So that was the incident at turn 1 in which Carl Bennett was spun around. Saul Navini was the other car involved in that incident. That'll be investigated after the race. Solov in Parc Ferme, parks up behind the number 1 board once again. Fantastic effort. Gets celebrations from his mechanics. Well, Solov will be starting from pole position for the final race of the season later on today. An astonishing 15 pole positions that will be in a single season. And that actually equals the most amount of pole positions in a single Spanish F4 year. He puts him level with Richard for sure. Solov his 12th win. Hugh Barker came home second. Planning to members of the Campos team and some family and friends as well.
Taking the piss because we did like 3 laps. I think the safety car led more laps than Nico.
I think it's unfortunate that it was very much a safety car dominated race. Barker challenged for the lead right at the start, and Solov did enough to kind of hold him at bay. But then he fended off Kucharczyk after the restart, and again did enough to hold Kucharczyk at bay. As we see the overall results on the board, Solov winning from Barter, Kucharczyk, Small and Stromstead, with Kelstrup, Ho, Pruvazak, Dehan and Rinacella rounding out the top 10. Solov also takes the race win for the rookie class. And I've actually forgotten how many rookie class wins that Solov has this year. Fifteen rookie class wins for Nikola Solov so far this season. And in 4 other races, he's finished second in the rookie class, and his lowest finish in the rookie trophy is third, which he got on the opening round at Portimao. And that's really indicative of just how dominant he has been so far this season. We shall hear the Bulgarian national anthem in a few moments' time, once they get weighed and once they do all the congratulations and do all of the other little bits and pieces that post-race. And by the sounds of that, we may even have an interview in a few moments' time.
Nicola, congratulations again. How have you seen the race?
Yeah, the race was not the most interesting, I have to be honest. There was 2 safety cars, so we had like 1 or 2 laps of racing. The start was all right, enough to keep the lead, and then just driving behind the safety car pretty much. Nothing much to say, and I think, again, maximum points this race, so we look forward to the next one.
And now that you no longer feel the pressure to win, do you enjoy driving more?
Sorry?
Now that you no longer the pressure to win, do you enjoy driving more?
Yeah, obviously I always enjoy to drive no matter what, so yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Fantastic job, Nicola Solov. But yes, as he did say, it was very few actual racing laps in today's event, dominated very much by the safety car. And we'll get the highlights now. So good start by Hugh Barter, tried to go down the inside of Solov, but I think the gap really was too narrow for Barter to really safely make the move. Plus, Kucharczyk was on the outside, looking at an opportunity to take the win while defending from Christian Ho and Kirill Smal. Solov came out the best on those first couple of corners, but Barter maintained the pressure, but only for a few moments' time. And as I said at the time, we had a very, very, very clean opening lap compared to yesterday, which unfortunately a couple of laps later we saw an incident with Alvaro Garcia, and we think Noah Lyle is the other driver involved. There was a fight for a while between Stromstead, Ho, and Kelstrup, while Ho himself was still monitoring what Kirill Smal was doing up front. And, of course, Sebastian Gravland also having several battles, first with Ilter Puvizak and then later Rinicella. And Solov will come home under the safety car to take another race with victory. So some congregation moving towards Parc Fermé. For the podium for this penultimate Spanish Formula 4 race of the season, Timotheus Kucharczyk goes on to the third step again. He was third yesterday. Hugh Barter onto the second step, his first podium of the weekend. He finished 5th yesterday. I said 4th earlier on, it was actually 5th. And Solov, another race win. That's 18 wins out of 20 for Campos. And it's 12 wins out of 20 for Solov. And now, Bulgarian national anthem. Fantastic effort once again by the 3 drivers up front. For the limited running there was, they kept their cool. And the trophy is now handed out. First to Timotheus Kucharczyk, finishing 3rd. Hugh Barter coming home 2nd, takes the runners-up trophy. And Nikola Solov takes the trophy for race victory. And a trophy for Campos Racing. And now the rookie trophy, also for Solov. And photographs. And the champion gets sprayed. It's the not quite champagne. Still sticky as hell, but no alcohol. So later on today, we will have the final race of the season, the Spanish Formula 4 season. I'll be coming to you live from the Circuit of Catalunya at approximately 12:30 UK time, 1:30 on the continent. So not too long to go. It's been a fantastic race. Well, what we saw of it was a fantastic race. And it has been an absolute pleasure to once again bring it to you. You see the battle out there between Graveland. And that was the incident that brought out the first safety car, Alvaro Garcia going into the barrier. Kacharczyk challenged Barter for second place on the restart, but locked his front right. It gave Small an opportunity to try and go for Kacharczyk. That didn't go off, and that gave Ho an opportunity to go for Small, and that didn't come off. What didn't come off either was this incident between Soldavini and Bennett. Markinchelski had a broken front wing, as did one of the Montreal Motorsport drivers, while Blockina went off the circuit, and that brought out another safety car. And the race would not get going again, running out of time. But it didn't matter. Nikola Solov, who took his 12th win of the season. Well, thank you for watching. My name has been Leo Gorman. We will see you again at 12:30 UK time, 1:30 on the continent, for the final race of the Spanish Formula 4 Championship season. Until then, have a great day.